sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, put nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Tell mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What is up, everybody? It is good to see you guys, man. How you guys doing today, man? It is officially Thursday, August 21st, man, 2025. We are, 63, 62 days away from the regular season, and even less than that for preseason. And I thought this would be a cool little video to make to power rank my top 14 Lakers that are currently on the roster, not counting the two-way G League players. And also, if you stay till the end of the video, I got a trade machine trade for you guys that I think can definitely solve a lot of the issues we have on the current roster with just one swift move. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. Get to see you guys. Tamika, Kimiko, Reggie, everybody up in here. What's up, man? Good to see y'all, fam. J-Lo, good to see you, man. Let's get right into it because we got a lot to break down, man. We're going to go down this list and give you guys my explanation why I'm putting certain players in certain positions and all that good stuff, man. There's 14 players to break down here. So we're going to get into that before we get into anything else and we talk about anything else, all right? Here we go. So, Lakers, guys, top 14 players off the top. We're going to start at number 14. I'll put the player that I believe, he's basically a newcomer, right? He's a newcomer. We don't know how good he is because he played very limited minutes last year. Matter of fact, the only minutes he played was in the final game of the season. So, yes, I'm going to put my guy Maxi Kleber at the end, right? He's a forward center. Now, listen, this guy was acquired in the Luka Doncic trade, right? He's 33 years of age. He is a stretch big, 6'10". He shoots about 34.8% from beyond the arc. But we don't know how he's going to look, right? With the injuries and the declining athleticism. It might limit his role this year. So I'm going to put him dead last only because we don't know. Of course, this can all change during the course of the season. But for now, coming into the season, I got to put Maxi Kleber dead last. After him, after Maxi Kleber, guys, this is where it starts to get really good because the next guy I'm going to put up here is a player we also don't know nothing about. However, we drafted him, and I'm very excited for him. But everybody knows that when you're trying to compete for a championship, historically, the Lakers rookies don't necessarily get a lot of PT. You can see Bronny James look no further than that last season. He didn't get much PT. So I'm not sure if Thero will come into this season actually contributing, but he's a rookie. History doesn't serve rookies right unless they blow us out of the water. But we're talking about somebody who averaged 7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and an assist. Who's extremely athletic, 6'8" forward with a 7-foot wingspan. His athleticism, defensive versatility. He averaged 1.5 steals per game at the college level, and again, 5 rebounds is pretty good at Arkansas. Right now, he is extremely raw offensively, and we know historically what our guy, Luke Walton, JJ Redick will do with players that aren't, that great offensively. He'll probably stash him at the end of the bench. So I'm gonna put Thero, all right, at number 13. All right, now we're moving on up. Now we got at number 12. I'm gonna put a player that showed a little bit of promise in summer league, and I was very excited to see what he could do. Moving forward, this is Bronny James. Selected 55th last year. He's only 21. He's a 6'2" guard, still undersized. This is why I'm putting him at 12 and not higher until he proves himself a little further. But He showed solid defensive potential, guys. We know he has limited offensive skills, and he's gonna have to knock down those 3 balls in order to stay on the court. But we'll see what happens with him. His continued development. He developed well so far in the G League, so we'll see what happens there moving forward. But I'll put Bronny at number 12 in this list. Feel free to agree or disagree with me, guys. Tell me where you guys have these players as well in the comment section, whether you're watching the video live or after everything. All right, so that's Bronny at 12. We're gonna go Jake LaRavia at 11, another newcomer. You're talking about somebody who actually showed out versus Memphis. In Memphis. All right, in Memphis, he averaged basically 11 points per game, 3.7 rebounds. Remember, they had a lot of injuries over there, right? And we're a little bit more stacked this season, but he's still only 24, 6'7" wing, 3-and-D potential for sure. He showed improvement last year, like I said, with his scoring, but we'll see how that happens as he built for the bright lights. We're gonna have to put him there at number 11, right? Let's see how his defense translates. All right, now we're getting to the good stuff, man, because we get into the top 10. All right, this is where we get into the top 10. You see the graphic, you see what's going on, you see what the heck is going on over here. All right, you're looking at your top 10, but what is the order? What is the order of this top 10 of mine? And so I'm gonna get into that now. All right, at number 10, and only because he looked a total mess during Summer League. He looks like he regressed, all right? And again, this is the way too early Laker power rankings. But at number 10, I'm going to have to put Dalton Connect there, right? Dalton Connect had a very solid rookie season, averaging 9.7 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, and an assist, shooting 42% from the field and 39% from beyond the arc, 77% from the free throw line, right? So he averaged 18 minutes last year. He looked disinterested in the Summer League, right? So I have to have him at number 10. He provides good shooting potential off the bench, but here's the thing, right? His rookie status and average defense, below average defense, that definitely puts him at 10 for me, right? He ranks above Thiero only because he has a year under his belt, but otherwise, I like Thero's defensive potential a little bit better as a prospect than Dalton Connect, even though we do need some shooting there, right? So yeah, that's where I'm putting Thiero for sure. But I am very intrigued. Dalton Connect. But I'm very intrigued to see if he can step up. Summer League isn't for everybody. Some people do worse in Summer League, and then they show up like some bosses to the regular season. So I hope that's the case for my guy, Mr. Connect, right? He was connecting with our Hearts rookie season, and then bam, he hit the rookie wall, and then followed by the trade, it kind of set him off. At number 9, and I don't know how he managed to make it this high up, but I think it's because he's going to get some minutes. You guys know my least favorite Laker for off-court purposes, for the stuff that he's been accused of doing off the court. No matter, not only accused, but videotape. Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes, guys. Jackson Hayes is number 9. I only have him this high on the list because I think he'll get plenty of minutes, especially since we haven't addressed the backup center position. We got Ayton to start, but we haven't addressed the backup center position, right? So he's 25. He's still athletic. He's going to definitely catch some lobs. He's going to have some putbacks and stuff like that. But outside of that, what else can he do? Can he block shots consistently? His best stretch was when AD got traded. He was doing good for about 10 games or so, and then playoffs started and he was unplayable, right? So hopefully, as long as he's on the roster, we got to root for him. Hopefully JJ Redick can, get this man to play to the best of his ability. But he is a high energy guy for sure. Those are the positives about him. I don't know why he's working on his threes. He needs to be working on adding some weight and becoming a bully down low because, man, he is frail. All right? I think I could box him out as frail as he is. All right. I'm just kidding about that one. Gabe Vincent is going to be my number 8. Gabe Vincent completely lost me in the playoffs. All it took was one playoff for me to I had enough. The thing about him is that with the Lakers, he's only averaged 3.1 points per game. He hasn't lived up to the contract. Okay. 1.9 assists, the shooting splits of 39% from the field and 30% from beyond the arc with a 63% free throw rating through 62 games. That is really bad. Okay. And I was excited and I was vouching for him because I was like, I seen what he could do in the playoffs with Miami. I was hoping he brought some of that over here. Listen, Vincent, 29. All right. Returned from injury last season. Again, Decent defender, but very undersized. I would like to trade him. Matter of fact, spoiler alert, he is included in my trade that I have here towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Gabe. He's very small. We're going to go small. I'd rather go with potential, rather go with Bronny and go with the trial and error through him, but watch him grow rather than just, throw him out there. And I don't know. Gabe Vincent is my number 8 in the rankings. What do you guys think so far? Do you guys agree, disagree? Drop it in the comment section. I will read all your guys' comments as soon as I get done with my list. But I got to get all these thoughts off because I have a lot to say. All right. Now we're in the top 7. Top 7 for sure. And at number 7, I'm going to put Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt has been injury plagued. However, when this man is healthy, he is an absolute beast on defense, right? However, last year he only played 29 games, and that was supposed to be the year where he was supposed to be better. He ended up having foot surgeries right before training camp, and I remember I was upset about that. But everybody, and from what I'm hearing, including my sources, saying he looks great, and this is the healthiest he has been in the last couple seasons, so that's good news. He's still only 26. He's an elite perimeter defender. He has a 7'1" wingspan. If it wasn't for those injuries, I think he would have made his mark. He really became a favorite of mine on this Laker team defensively. Kind of an old school player, very gritty, very tough. He'll pick up the best perimeter players and even some of the best post players. And he is a matchup nightmare for offenses because defensively he is on lock. Now, here's the problem. His limited offense is what's going to keep him off the court. This is why I have him ranked so low. His limited offense, he has never developed a three-point shot. 29.6% from beyond the arc is what he's been shooting with the Lakers. But again, his energy is infectious, and he's a glue guy. If Redick can somehow have him cracking the rotation, playing 15 to 20 minutes a night, he could definitely be solid as a second unit. Some people even peg him in as the first unit guy, right? So yeah, Jared Vanderbilt comes at number 7 for me, and at number 6 we got newcomer, my favorite new acquisition. I think he's gonna become a fan favorite, and that is Marcus Smart. All right, you want to talk about somebody who lives up to his last name, right? Somebody who lives up to that last name right there. Marcus Smart. He plays extremely smart on the defensive end. I wish I could say the same offensively, but maybe playing alongside LeBron and Luka, that'll rub off on him for sure. But Marcus Smart, guys, what can I say? I was ecstatic when we got him. For years, I've been wanting him to be a Laker. Since he landed in Memphis, I was like, damn, the Lakers should have jumped on that. Now, unfortunately, he's also been injury plagued, right? He only played about like 20 games last season for the Washington Wizards, right? But we signed him for the biannual exception. So that means that, even at the age of 31, he is a former Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. That's not far removed. That's 3 seasons ago. His tenacity, his playmaking, he adds grit to our team. Again, if he can stay healthy, this is going to be the steal of the offseason. I got Marcus Smart coming in at number 6. If you guys think otherwise, then so be it. My guys hit Dalton at 13. I still believe in Dalton. Call me crazy, bro, but I still believe in Dalton for sure, my guy. I believe in Dalton, and I think I still think he has the talent. I don't know if he's got the right mental capacity, or maybe he won't develop that talent until he leaves our team. But man, it would be nice if he can get hot. I never give up on young talent early. I know he's a little bit older. What is he, 25 now? But he showed me a lot early, especially last season when we needed him. And I know we traded him and stuff, and he was never the same after that. But I hope that he comes back and plays to the best of his ability. I also was disappointed with what I saw in Summer League. But okay. But let's get into the top 5. This is where it gets really good. So I had Marcus Smart 6. I had Vanderbilt 7. Number 5, guys. Number 5 is going to be Rui /Imora. Okay, we're talking about the 3rd best player in the playoffs last year. This guy turns up in the playoffs. He is very mid during the regular season. He's up and down, up and down. He'll have a 20-point game. He'll have 3 10-point games, and then another 20-point game, and then 4 10-point games or below. He'll have a good rebounding game when he gets 10 to 12. Then he'll have a 2 rebound game for the next 2 to 3. So he's been so inconsistent with that. My man has been training with sumo wrestlers. I've seen multiple years we've seen what he can do in the playoffs. He's got an insane amount of potential that still seems untapped even at his age. He is 27 now, but this is where usually they start hitting their peak of their career. I want to see a breakout year from him, playing alongside Luka and Austin and LeBron. 3 elite playmakers should get you some wide open looks, especially he's projected to start. So I got Rui Hachimura making it to my top 5 in my way too early power rankings for this year's NBA and for the Lakers this year. He averaged 13.6 points per game last year with 4 rebounds. I need to see that 4 rebounds come up to like about 6 or 7. That will make him elite for sure. That'll make him a must stay on the court. If he can help us out the offensive glass, crashing the glass, and defensive glass, it would be insane help for LeBron, who's going into year 23. He's going to need a lot of help. All right, because Father Time is undefeated. It's coming, whether we like it or not. But Rui is very efficient. Shot 53% from the field last season, 42% from beyond the arc. Okay, was our highest rated three-point shooter by far. And 73% from the free throw line. That needs to come up a little bit. And he played 68 games last year, averaging 26.9 minutes. So I got him in my top 5. He will get the minutes. He will get the action. And I can't wait to see what he can do for us against 6'8" guy. He's built. He's extremely strong. And he just needs to put that to work, man. He needs to, he's been in the gym. I like what he's been doing, working on boxing out with sumo wrestlers. I think he's taking the right approach. He's going to crack my top 5 for surely. Oh, my goodness, craziness. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you as always. Glad to see you safe. You said your lights went out last time. Glad everything is good. And thank you so much for the love, always showing love, man. Shout out to my sis. Crazy. She said, hope all is well, bro. Just checking in. Yeah, we're just doing our power rankings. And right now, currently, I got Rui Hachimura at number 5. I do. I got him there. And I will explain why I got Ayton over him right now, Solo. I got you, bro. I see you. What's good, Just Be? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my boy. All right, DeAndre Ayton. He's cracking my top 4 for multiple reasons. All right. You want to talk about somebody who actually averaged damn near 17 points per game with Portland and 11 rebounds, right, in 55 games. He can space the floor. He's not. I don't necessarily want him shooting threes. You know what I mean? Got a similar issue to AD. They're not efficient. He shot like 20% from beyond the arc, but it was a small sample size, 1 for 5. But I want him in the paint. I want him mid-range. That's what he's going to kill. He's a great free throw shooter, 81% free throw shooter, 32 minutes per game. He played 55 games. Lakers signed him. He is much needed. He's not going to replace Anthony Davis. Nobody is, right? Anthony Davis is an A1 post player. Insane. Generational talent. But this is the next best thing. This is B tier as far as that goes. He'll do some of the things AD can do. He'll score to some degree. And he'll do certain things. He'll come from the weak side. He'll average about 1.5 blocks per game. He'll help us a little bit in the paint where we mightily struggled last season. Now, I still feel like the Lakers are another big man away. Okay, I do, and a bench player. But this is a start, and it's a great start. And I think Ayton's going to be pivotal for the Lakers season this year. I hope he stays healthy because, he showed he can be efficient in Portland, scoring in the paint, and he shows improved rim protection as well. This is the guy who's been in the trenches, made a deep playoff run a couple years back with the Phoenix Bums. And so I think this guy, definitely knows what it is to go deep, and he's been there. He's been there. So, he fills the void tremendously. He's not going to fill the production that AD brought, but he's definitely going to fill some of that void. And I think the pick and roll synergy with Luka Doncic is going to be off the charts. I can't wait for that. Let's see what happens. But I have him at number 4. I think it's going to be a big integral part of what the Lakers are going to do this season. And that's why I got him this high for sure. Crazy again. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. What up, Die Hard? Good to see you, bro. Hey, we're doing the rankings. You're going to want to rewind this one because it was a pretty good ranking so far. I'm in the top 3 now. And the top 3 remaining players, this is where it gets controversial because you got Luka, you got LeBron, and you got Austin. All right. And coming in at number 3, I know he's polarizing because he had a shitty playoffs, but part of that was due to injuries. That's Austin Reeves. I still think he's the 3rd best player on this team in spite of all the new acquisitions, in spite of Rui outplaying him in the playoffs. I'm going to give him one pass. This is his one pass to get shit right. He's in a contract year. Okay, he's 27. Again, this one you're supposed to hit your prime. Listen, 2K showing you love, brother. They gave him an 85 overall in 2K26 coming out. He's rated the same as De'Aaron Fox. And I do believe he's the same kind of caliber player, man. There were games last year when he looked like an absolute superstar in the making. And I'm not saying he's going to be that, especially playing alongside Luka and LeBron. He's going to be 3rd fiddle, but he's a very good all-star caliber player. Yes, I said it. Been saying it for years. He's got all-star potential. This is the year he has to make the all-star game. Contract year, he wants to get paid over $30 million. All right, check. He's 27. That's usually when they start hitting the beginning of their prime. Check. He had a great regular season last season. right? But then he put up a dut. You guys know what a dut is, right? That's when you light up the fireworks for 4th of July and they don't explode. That's a dut. He lit up the firework during the regular season, but he never exploded like we expected, partially due to injury. But I think he's going to be tremendous, especially if they start him. His numbers are going to look crazy. I'd rather have him off the bench still, personally, even though I think he's the 3rd best player heading into next season. But, man, he does everything. He scores. He assists. You know, he averaged damn near 20 points per game, over 5.5 assists. He makes it look easy. He gets to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter. What else do we want from Austin? Well, I'll tell you what. We want him to show up in the playoffs. 85% free throw shooter. No way in hell he should have averaged less than his regular season average in the playoffs. That is why Austin is still coming in at number 3. Still believe in the kid. He's in a contract year. I think he's going to go crazy this year. I want to see it. I need to see it. All right. Now here's where it gets crazy. Let me ask you guys, who would you guys put at number 2 and at number 1? And I'll tell you who I got. It's already here. I got my notes right here and everything. All right. And I'm ready for the backlash because I have my number 1. But at number 2, guys, at number 2, I got LeBron James. Number 2 in the power rankings this year, I got LeBron James. If we go based off of last year, then, you know, I would say LeBron was number 1. But this is a new year. This is a new team. And there's a new sheriff in town. His name is Luka Doncic. All right. He lost weight. He's taking it serious. He's looking good over there. By the way, they lost today to Lithuania. I forgot what team they were playing against. I think Lithuania, Jokic's team, but it was an exhibition matchup. But still, Luka has looked tremendous. If you guys haven't checked it out, man, he's looked sensational. I think he's going to have an MVP caliber year. So I'm putting LeBron at number 2, and that's still high praise because LeBron has never been a number 2 on any team. I think this is going to be the first year it happens. LeBron already said he sees that the Lakers are turning leaf. He understands it. He embraces it. So this is the year to embrace it so that you can prolong your career, maybe play a couple more years, as well as the Lakers succeed. You know, even at 40, man, LeBron made history last year. First player, you know, to compete as a teenager and in his 40s, right? Earning all honors, all NBA honors. His efficiency from 3, career high last year, 41%. And playmaking, 8.3 assists per game. So he remains elite. That's why he's still number 2 on my list, right? This guy is sensational. However, we can only go so far with him at number 1. We've seen what that looks like now. We need a new number 1. No offense to LeBron fans or LeBron or anybody involved, but we need a new number 1. We need a younger number 1 in order to succeed. And we saw it in the playoffs. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led his team, regular season MVP, finals MVP, young, right? Who was he facing off against? A young team. Yes, it had veterans, but a young team led by a young up-and-coming star and Halliburton. So youth is the name of the game, and LeBron James, we got to let it go, man. He's no longer that guy who's going to lead a team to a championship, but he can definitely, for the first time in his career, I believe, trust another player who, you know, currently is in the prime of his career while he's exiting the prime of his career. And I think it's going to be crucial, man, for him to become that number 2 in order for us to succeed and for Luka to take the reins. He needs to take the reins. Now, I'm projecting this to happen based on what everybody is saying. Strega, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. And thank you so much for Super Chat. Appreciate you. I'm projecting this to happen, guys. I think LeBron will finally take that step back, and it'll help everybody involved. It'll help the Lakers transition into the new era. It'll help Luka take the reins. He's a primary ball handler, and it'll help LeBron stay healthy and hopefully be able to go as close to 100% as possible for the playoffs, right? Now, if we're going based on last year, LeBron was still number 1, but I do project and predict Luka will be the new number 1. He's going to have an MVP caliber season, and to be able to do that, you cannot be number 2. Okay, it's that simple, right? You guys can argue with me. That's fine. I love LeBron, but he needs to take a step back. And that leads me to my number 1 in the power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. And my number 1 in the power rankings, as I already said, is Luka Doncic, all right? Luka Doncic, baby. Luka, it's your year, baby. This is it. Luka the Don. All right. And multiple reasons why he needs to be number 1. Number 1, because he's, you know, about to turn 27, right? The 26-year-old phenom. We've seen him get in shape. Now he's got to lead on the court, right? This dude is tremendous, man. He needs to stay healthy, of course. We acquired him in February 2025 in the trade for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis couldn't take the reins, unfortunately. He was never a Batman, but Luka is a Batman. He's always been a Batman. He led his team to the finals. If that ain't in the West, in the tough West, if that ain't proof enough, then I don't know what is, right? he can do it again. He can lead another team to the finals. He needs to do it for the Lakers. I think this organization is going to make sure they build around him properly. If they need to make another trade towards the middle of the season, they will, to get players that continue to complement both LeBron and Luka, but especially Luka, because this is new time. And he looks in the best shape of his basketball career since his rookie season. He's capable of running point guard. He's going to be the primary ball handler. He's the main offensive engine. But again, this is me projecting that this is what it's going to be. He still isn't that. He still hasn't taken the reins fully. I expected it to be last year in the playoffs, and LeBron still outshined him. So I'm projecting Luka will finally take the reins from LeBron, and I'm pretty sure LeBron will be happy about that because he no longer – his back must hurt from all the years he was carrying as the number one option. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to LeBron, but he will be the number two option. He has to be in order for this thing to work. Otherwise, it won't work. If LeBron comes in here and the chemistry's bad and he still wants to jack up all the shots and he still wants to, force the issue, even when he's been inefficient on off nights. And I'll say the same for Luka. Luka, he's not going to have it every night. Some nights he is going to have to defer to Austin, to LeBron as well. But, they got to play within the system, and I think Luka will be the system. I believe it wholeheartedly. Man, he is the offensive engine. He is the hub, as they like to call it. He could play point guard, small forward. But most importantly, he's going to be the primary playmaker and scorer for the Lakers. Therefore, I have Luka number one. And it has to be this way. It has to be this way. So there you have it. There is my power ranking of the Lakers this season. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? I'd love to hear from you guys, man. This is where you guys get your comments in. We don't have enough people in here to do phone call Fridays. But, man, if we had 150 likes in here, I'd turn on the phone calls, even though it's the off season. I usually don't do it during the off season. But what do you guys think? Where do you guys agree and disagree with me? Do you guys think LeBron is still going to be number one? Do you guys think Luka has what it takes? I want to know everything. My guy said LeBron 2, Luka 1. We agree. We agree. It has to be that way, right? This is a projection of what it's going to be, not what it was last season. Now, we're talking last season, then yes, LeBron was still number one and Luka was number two. That's part of the reason why it didn't work. Luka got sick at the wrong time. We lost a couple of games we should have won that were close. They came down to the wire. Luka was inefficient because he was sick. And then there you have it, Let's see. My guy said by the end of the season, Aiden will pass Austin for third best player. I mean, that would be something. That would be something. But for now, I still think Austin is going to be that third guy. But if Aiden can rise to the occasion, that would be huge, not only for us, but for his next contract and where he's going to be and all that good stuff. Let's see. My guy said Dalton has to get out of his head and be professional. That is key. That is definitely key right there. Dalton, look, if Dalton doesn't want to get traded again, he's going to have to play similar to how he played last year when he was going crazy. That might be the only saving grace because he really regressed during Summer League. He did, unfortunately. But I'm excited, guys. We got all this Laker basketball coming up in the near future in a little over a month and a half here. All this good stuff, man. But I'm here. I'm going to be dropping little gem videos like this one to break it all down, man. And I got you guys questions. Again, stay till the end. I got a trade that I think would work both ways and I think would put the Lakers over the top, at least off the bench. Yeah, Luka's going to be the alpha. I agree. I think so, too. I mean, the franchise is saying it. His teammates and, for his national country, they're saying it. Luka is going to pull up and say it. Luka's not very aggressive, but I do believe Luka, in a friendly way, he is a killer. And I think eventually he'll say, hey, all right, I'm going to run the team. It's on me now. LeBron won a championship. He did everything he could for the Lakers. He's getting older. I got this, guys. It's my turn to lead us to the promised land. And LeBron, he'll be co-leading with me, but, more of a B option. But I think it'll be a blast. I think it'll be awesome. If LeBron and his camp buy in and the Lakers are able to make that midseason trade that I think they will to put us over the top, then we can really go a long way. I'm talking NBA Finals, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Social Rhino says LeBron number 2. I agree. It has to be this way. It has to. You know why? Otherwise, I don't think we succeed this year. I don't think we get out of the first or second round. If LeBron's still the number one option, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because he's getting older. He's not as explosive as he once was. He's still a freaking beast. He's still a top 10 player in this league, maybe even top 5 on a good day. But Father Time is undefeated. 1 year, one year deeper into this thing, I think it's going to be a puzzle we got to figure out. But we have a huge piece of the puzzle, and that is Luka Doncic. If he can become that leader that Remember, he's got a huge chip on his shoulder. Dallas said he couldn't lead. They said he couldn't get in shape. He's already halfway there. He got in shape. Now he needs to lead. He needs to lead to a championship. If he could do that, man, I think all the criticism goes away and he gets the proper respect. Look, 2K has him a 95. The disrespect. This man should be rated equally or at least only 1 point below Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He should be on the same frame as a Jokic. You know, so they got Jokic at 98. Why not Luka at 97 or 98? Right? Well, maybe because the results haven't been there. But I think this year can change a lot of things for the Lakers, for Luka, for our future, for everything. And it's going to take Luka being that leader and becoming that number one option for sure for us to be able to get to that next level. Stolo, good to see you, my boy. You said LeBron wanted to be number 2. He shouldn't be mad about filling that role. Exactly. It's the only people that are mad about him filling that role are going to be his stance. You know, the ones that don't want to understand that Father Time is undefeated. And you got to let that number one option go. You got to become that number 2 option. It's still extremely amazing that somebody at the age of 40 going on 41 can still be a valuable number 2 option. That's what people don't understand. Most people his age aren't even the 3rd or 4th option at that point. Vince Carter at 40, what was he doing? Nothing. You know, Allen Iverson didn't even get there. You know, like people weren't putting up the numbers LeBron is. He could still be extremely valuable at the number 2 option, but this can help prolong him, keep him fresh for the playoffs, and as a result, get further down the road. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I'm sure I'll get some hate comments and some negativity because nobody likes constructive criticism. Nobody likes the truth. But but Laker family, you guys know what's up. You guys know that we need Luka to be that number 1 option, and it's nothing personal against LeBron or his fans, but it's something that even LeBron wants. And I'm sure if they accept that role, which I think they will, they should be smooth sailing throughout the season. And I can't wait. Honestly, I'm very excited. We got a lot of great talent on this roster. Now, we're still lacking something. And you guys ready for the trade, guys? I got you. Because this, as good and compelling as this team is, that bench is still looking extremely frail, right? Look at that bench, right? You got Marcus Smart. You got Gabe Vincent. You got Dalton, who's inconsistent. You got, who's going to score for you? I see some defense there with Vando and Marcus Smart if they come off the bench. But who in the hell is going to come off the bench and score? Guess what, guys? There's a rumor going around right now that the Sacramento Kings are reportedly trying very hard, end quote, to trade Malik Monk to open up a roster spot for Russell Westbrook, all right? Now, the Sacramento Kings have been trying very, very hard to trade this offseason, but they haven't found a taker. Check, please. We'll take them. And I got the very trade here on this trade machine just for you guys. And here it is. Here you have it. All right. Bam. This is the trade, fam. This is the, let me see if I can zoom in here. I couldn't do it. But this is the trade here. So basically, is the Lakers acquire Malik Monk and Dario Saric for Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber. Now, you might be thinking, well, Dan, they're trying to clear up a roster spot. Exactly. You don't want to leave salary on the books, and Malik Monk is salary on the books, right? If anything, a one-year deal, is always tradable. They could always route one of those other 2 players somewhere else. They gave us Malik Monk, who's on a 3-year deal, by the way, very affordable. He's 17 points per game guaranteed. Very affordable. 17.2 points per game last season with 3.8 rebounds and 5.6 assists. You want to talk about a 6th man of the year? If Austin don't want to do it, that guy will do it for sure. Listen, this is a trade that I want to happen badly, and I think can happen. And I want to know what you guys think about it because I love it personally. I think this is the one. I think this trade right here gives us the firepower we need at a very low cost because Gabe Vincent wasn't doing shit for us last year, and Maxi Kleber, we basically didn't have him. So this will be upgrading the roster without subtracting much, and then Bronny can step into that guard role. We got Malik Monk as a two guard just in case Dalton doesn't work out, and if anything, it would be a beautiful thing. And it works both ways again because those other 2 contracts we're trading them are expiring contracts, which then they can reroute elsewhere. Something like that. Lakers got to think outside the box to make sure that we can, get something like that. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let's see. Kimiko, appreciate you. There is my link tree if you guys want to follow on everything. Follow this summer if you guys want to get along with the gaming, with the podcasting, all that good stuff, the music. Tap in with the link tree. Thank you, Kimiko. Appreciate you. What happened to Jake LaRavia? I ranked him. He was outside of my top 10 just because he's a newcomer, right? So because of that, I'm not gonna pencil him in now. Again, these are subject to change throughout the season, but for now, I forgot. Did I put him 12 or 13? One of those two numbers. He's in the rankings. He's just outside of my top 10 for sure, which is a good thing. You never want to get a player like that. That's still a big question mark. And she said, "Oh my God, that would be killer! Hell yeah! Oh my goodness!" And by the way, Malik Monk Strega has already proven that he is made for the bright lights that is Los Angeles. He has came in here and he had his career year with us. Matter of fact, he got paid because of the year he had with us, which I always knew he was capable of because I saw him play for the Kentucky Wildcats. I mean, this dude is a bucket, man, and I would love it, man. I would love it. Let's see. The bench would be really small with Bronny and Monk. Well, if Bronny still has to earn his stripes, you could always go and have Malik Monk as your primary ball handler off the bench, and then you can have Dalton as a back, as the two guard. They could experiment with it, but listen, even without Monk, bro, the bench is already extremely small. You talk about Gabe Vincent, somebody who's not showing up, averaging 3 points per game for the Lakers, sucked in the playoffs even when he was healthy. You talk about Bronny, we're still talking about 2.62 guys and under. So we can definitely afford to trade one for a 6'3" guy who's a demigod at scoring. So I don't think that's much of a problem because it's a lateral move as far as size goes. But we know one guy can fill it up, man. I love Malik Monk. And you know how exciting this team would be if we had Malik Monk on the current roster? This team would just, I'm telling you, man, that bench scoring production would not be a problem come postseason. I was actually very interested in Jordan Clarkson, even though he's less efficient than Monk. But, unfortunately, a lot of teams weren't interested in him. I think he got bought out, right? And then the Knicks signed him. So, yeah, but Malik Monk, I think, would solve a lot of, and the trade works. Again, the trade that I have here on the trade thing, Fanspo is a great website because it actually shows the actual CBA. So I tried a couple of deals until I got the right one, and this trade definitely works. So tap in, y'all. Man, very, very going to be freaking awesome if anything like this happens. And maybe this doesn't happen right away, but maybe at the trade deadline we could look at something like this. You never know. They've been trying to trade him. Listen, we will gladly take him. Sacramento Kings. All right, you guys can light the beam for all I care, but we will take Malik Monk. My guy said, I don't think LeBron cares if he's number 2. He just wants another chip. That's the right mindset, and I hope that's true. I hope we don't get no Rich Paul talking midseason or nothing crazy like that. As long as Rich Paul could just mind his business during the season, he can talk all summer, all he wants. Go on all the podcasts, do your round. We don't know controversies during the regular season. All right, I know LeBron doesn't really say much, right? But his mouthpiece does. So hopefully that guy don't say nothing, and we have Luka taking over as number 1, and LeBron will be happy, and everything is good. That is a dream case scenario, which could happen. Could happen again. For years, LeBron was quote unquote trying to hand over the reins to AD, but AD wouldn't take the reins. He had butterfingers, Can't lay a finger on my butterfinger. Angel, he said, "Yo, Dan, you play Undisputed Boxing Game? It's a pretty fun game to play." I have not, bro. There's so many games coming out. Me and my girl, we just pre-ordered the gears, so I'm very excited about that. That's gonna be streaming in about 4 days or so, and then 2K just pre-ordered that today. So can't afford all the games, unfortunately. But hey, have fun with it, man. Maybe I'll rent it on GameFly or something. That'll be great. My guy CJ, what's up, brother? Ooh, you came in right towards the end of the video, but better late than never. Good to see you, bro. How you been? It's a very good trade. We bring Monk back off our bench, will be fire. We need a spark plug like that. I think it's crucial. I'm not so much worried about the undersizedness because we have that with Bronny and with Gabe. One of them is not going to play. Most likely it's not going to be Bronny if Gabe starts playing better. But if Gabe continues to struggle, I can definitely see Bronny taking the reins because he does play good defense as a backup guard. But for now, I want to bring a guard that I can trust, a guard that's been in the trenches, a guard that averaged 17 points per game last season. And if he did that for the Lakers, he would definitely be considered 6th man of the year. A guard that we know can fill it up quickly. He's also streaky. I will say this about Malik Monk. He's streaky, right? If you look at his scoring chart, he got some 5-point games, some 13s, some 17s. But when he is hot, he can change a whole game and turn it on his head. And we need a player like that, right? I hope we can get Monk. We definitely need to find more size for our bench. Well, we do have good size. I mean, we could definitely use another backup big, if that's what you mean by size. I don't trust Jackson Hayes. But we have Vando coming off the bench potentially. He's great size, 6'8", 6'9" guy. We got Dalton who's 6'6". We got some decent size off the bench. right? So, you know, we got some decent size. Nothing too crazy, but something decent. Yo, what's up, Braden? Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the love. He said, it bothers me how much Max Christie would be perfect next to Luka and Austin maybe one day. I like the Monk trade. That's an easy 10 or 15 points. Thank you. And I agree, bro. And I don't know if you guys remember, I love the trade when it happened because I felt like we made off like bandits. We didn't give up more than one first-round pick. We didn't give up Austin. All of that would have been still worth Luka. But you're absolutely right. The one thing that hurt me about the trade, besides losing AD, of course, was Max Christie. Because Max Christie was starting to come into his own. I feel like the Mavs don't really necessarily have a starting place for him. They're going to start PJ Washington, these other guards, Klay Thompson. Man, I wish that somehow we would have found a way. I know it sounds greedy because we got Luka. Let's be honest. But we want it all. That we would have found a way to keep Max Christie, because you're right. Max Christie and Luka on the backcourt would have been A1, brother. A1. Absolutely. So it is a shame that we had to trade him, but hey, sometimes you got to do things for the greater good of the team, and that's what we went ahead and did, man. We did what we had to do to land the mega star that is now signing an extension, which I told you guys would happen. And now even go out on a limb to say he's going to sign the Mega Max when that comes about and when he opts out of his contract in about 2 years. I was never concerned about Luka. He's always been a loyalty dude. They betrayed him, not the other way around, right? And the Lakers have shown loyalty to Luka by going out and acquiring guys he wanted, guys like Marcus Smart, who I wanted for years, and DeAndre Ayton, who he also was interested in. So credit to him, bro, because he's very cerebral. He knows what type of players he needs around him to succeed. A 3-and-D type guy in Marcus Smart and a defensive big who can rebound and score in the inside and catch lobs and has good hands for finishing around the basket in DeAndre Ayton. Like those are perfectly tailored to play alongside a Luka Doncic. And don't be surprised if we go out and we're interested in a restricted agent, free agent like like Grimes from the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Players like that fit alongside Luka, 3-and-D. And he might opt in and become an unrestricted free agent next year when we have money. Those are the type of players that are going to be under the radar signings that you can see fitting alongside Luka Doncic. You know, guys like that. So, again, this is Luka's team now, and I can see them catering around him, which is going to be a good thing. He's in his prime. He's a megastar. He's an offensive juggernaut, and he's in the best shape of his life not of his life, but that I can remember since he came into the league. So, again, it's going to be extremely fun, guys. But yeah, again, this video was brought to you guys by Prize Picks and Underdogs. You guys see the promos, the same promo down below on the ticker. You know, you play $5 to $10 on your first deposit, and you get 50 in play credits, guys. Same promo for Underdog, brand new promotion there. Promo code DTLF. All right, that's DTLF. Make sure you guys tap in. Still a lot of good sports to talk about and to break down and pretty much to do entries on Prize Picks and Underdogs. So tap in there. If you guys did like this video and you guys want more videos like this till the season starts, just to give us great content to talk about, make sure you guys hit that like button, because if we get to 250 likes, I will do another video in just 2 days instead of waiting a whole week. All right, I will give you guys what you guys want. So let me know. Let me know by hitting that like button and dropping a comment down below. Definitely helps the channel. And appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the likes. If you guys already haven't subscribed, please listen to Kimiko right here. Appreciate you guys. We're so close to 27K. I hope to get there before the season starts with your guys' help. All right. Christy will be back. You just feel it sometimes, huh? When the ex-Lakers leave. I felt the same way about Larry Nance before all the injuries, man. Unfortunately, that never came back. He never came back. And but I would love to see Max Christie back here one day. Some players get butthurt and they never want to go back after you trade them. But we'll see. Again, we're going to be under new management and a new ownership, and over the next couple of years, and anything can change moving forward. I hope that Max Christie is back because he fits in perfectly. Big fan of his. I got rookie cards from him. I have an autograph card from Max Christie. So, you know, I was a big fan of his, and I hope that, you know, he plays well wherever he plays, except when he plays my Lakers. All right, guys, keep it locked right here. Again, hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope to be back in a couple of days with another one, all right? That's up to you guys, though. If not, I'll see you guys next week for sure with another breakdown and updates and rumors and all this good stuff. We haven't done an NBA Weekly, so I might do something like that next week, depending on the likes, all right? So appreciate you guys again. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys, for those of you that follow me on Primetime and on Playback, I'll see you guys probably later on tonight for some gaming action, all right? Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your week. Please.